Good afternoon, A-Push students. I just wanted to do a quick check-in with you guys since I feel bad that we missed class on Friday, which was going to be valuable in that I could show you the big picture for the third 9 weeks and even talk a little bit about the second semester in general, as it's a little bit different from the first semester. So I'm going to share my screen with you here, and you can see I've got the third 9 weeks detail sheet up. And I'm obviously going to link this video right here, but first of all, you can look at your second semester grade breakdown. And as you look at that, and I always reserve the right to make modifications, particularly for what we do after the AP test. I'm just not there yet. But you can see we've got a total of 709 points, and we have a take-home DBQ test, third 9 weeks exam, an in-class DBQ exam. That's like our blue book. That's the one that we'll write in the morning on Wednesday, April 10th. And then we have the fourth 9 weeks, and those tests are all worth 100 points. And that makes up a very significant portion of your grade. Um, there's a reason that we have fewer things. I'll walk you through. A lot of it has to do with the actual AP exam. So as we look, this week is incredibly busy. The third 9 weeks is the 9 weeks for me that truly is all gas. It's whatever. Things are tough for everybody. So like we're gonna move. And if you look at the third 9 weeks, as I already told you, we've got to hit the ground running where you have the video quiz on the Gilded Age presidents. Okay, so on Tuesday, when you come back, you'll do an activity in class. We'll talk about the Gilded Age presidents because the next thing that we're going to do on that Wednesday is I'll do a quick recap of the DBQ master document. In other words, how to write a DBQ. And I have to change this stuff tomorrow because they changed all of the specifications for the DBQ. To make it easier, actually, they did this after the school year started. It was created quite an uproar in the AP world. So I'll adjust this, and so you don't read it now because it's a lot easier. So I'll show you. You'll read this on your own for Wednesday, and then I'll go over it, but you'll be doing a lot of practice in class. So you do a modified practice DBQ, like we look at a cartoon here, if it ever comes up. You'll look at a cartoon and describe the content of it, explain the historic situation. Look at another cartoon, describe the content, describe the historic situation. So that's why we're learning content right away so that we can practice DBQ stuff with that content. And then on Thursday, you'll be doing another practice DBQ activity in class. Obviously, we're not grading these. Describe the content of this document and its point of view. Describe the content of this document and its, excuse me, describe the content of this document and its purpose. And then just simply describe the content and describe the content. So we'll get, my point is, you will learn content and take a quiz on it for Tuesday. You will practice with that content in DBQ, that's document-based question. That's our new essay. It's a quarter of the AP test, and it's worth the two DBQs you write are basically 200 of the 700 points for the second semester. So we'll practice it, and then you have a practice DBQ, which you have to have all of the stuff read by Friday, but you can turn it out in up until 7:30 on Sunday morning. Because it's Sunday is just going to be hellacious. I'm just going to try to grade all of them on Sunday. It's impossible for me to grade on Saturday. Baseball just goes too late. I'm wiped. I'll do all my other stuff on Saturday. I'll just come in on Sunday and get these graded. So you can see what you will be doing is you'll be looking at a cartoon. This is your first practice DBQ, which is, you know, it says it's due Friday, but you can turn it in all the way up until Sunday. So you look at this cartoon, and I even created a cheat sheet to help you understand this cartoon. And then for that cartoon, you have to describe the content, explain with 2 sentences each for these. Describe the content, explain the historical situation, explain the intended audience, explain the point of view, and explain the purpose. And then there is another speech, which again, I'm not going to open it up, but you would do those things. So you would be writing a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 sentences. You'll be writing a total of 20 sentences. I made it just worth 30 points because it's our first chance. And if you do very badly, I don't want you to get a bad grade on something that's worth, 100 points. Okay, so you do that. Let me get back to this, excuse me. So you would turn that in by Sunday morning at 7:30. Then the following week, you just have a reading quiz on an outside reading about the Spanish-American War. And we are practicing still with documents in class, and then you are doing a much more extensive practice DBQ, but I'll give you all the way until Wednesday of the following week to turn it in. And so as we open this up here, I wrote the thesis for you. So imagine the DBQ prompt was, why did the United States go to war with Spain in 1898? I wrote the thesis. Everybody has the same thesis, okay? And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 documents, okay? I truncated it. So you use those 4 documents, and I told you exactly what you need to do with those documents. So you read a document from Senator Henry Cabot Lodge, and you have 2 sentences to describe the content of the document. And just like the 1896 election practice DBQ, these are graded like I would grade them on a test. So content matters, how well you write matters, accuracy matters. So you describe the content, then you'll use this document to support the argument, which again, I gave you the argument. The argument is a given. And then we'll learn there's this thing called HIP, H-I-P-P, it's explain the document. And HIP stands for historic situation, intended audience, point of view, or purpose. And I gave you directions for what you need to do. For example, for this first document, you need to tell me what Senator Lodge's point of view is, right? How is his point of view or bias relevant to the document? Okay. So I'm going to close that out. Okay. And so there we go. We are, then later in the week, you have a second assignment, but it's just a quiz on a Teddy Roosevelt video and reading. It's really important. And then we scroll down to the following week, and you're doing another practice DBQ assignment, this time with World War I documents. So there are 7 documents about U.S. neutrality in World War I, and in each case, you are simply describing the content of the document. So it's basically a lot of practice with primary documents. So you would do that, and then the following week, you have a short outside reading on World War I, where's the health of the state. The reason that you are reading that is because the next week, aside from a short video quiz on a job at Ford, it's the best video we watch all year, is your take-home test is due Thursday in class. You turn in a hard copy. We'll talk some more about this as we get closer, but it's just one question. The question is, sorry, everything's low. Okay, we just had a major malfunction. Okay, I guess we're still going. Okay. Share screen. Everything just froze on me for a second. So that was really scary. Okay. So the question is, to what extent was the United States justified in entering the First World War against Germany. And you'll actually write out a full 1,000-word document-based question essay and turn that in. And then I will miss that Friday. I will start to grade like crazy because this is when tryouts start. So I mean, it's no different. I've been coaching all fall and winter. It doesn't change anything that we're in season. Um, but this takes a long time to grade, and so I'm gonna miss school on that Friday and try to get as much done as I can. Then you get a huge break because again, the DBQ takes me forever to grade. You'll see why it takes forever when you look at the rubric. There are a lot of things that have to be specifically assessed. Um, so anyways, you have a big break here until the 9 weeks exam. That is, we have to take over 2 days on Wednesday, the 20th and Thursday, the 21st. I do not have, I'm not making, what do we call that? The long-term planning guide, because by now you either know it or you don't. But we do have master study guides for both parts. And I went through over Christmas break and I made annotated study guides for all of the stimuli. So you still have that. So there you go. You just need to keep up with that as we go. And I will be encouraging you to do that. So that's it for today. Take some time and look through the third 9 weeks daily detail sheet and just be aware we're going to hit the ground, not running, but like straight balling out like Carl Lewis. I mean, we are going to be flying. So enjoy the long weekend, and that's all.